Sections are subdivisions of a document. Once a document is divided into different sections, you can make formatting changes that apply only to that section. So for example, you can change the page orientation, insert different footers, headers, etc. Now in this video, we're going to show you how to do that by using different section breaks. The easiest way to view the different sections in your document is to use the headers and footers. If you navigate to the top of your page and double click with the left mouse button, you can see the headers menu. So that we have more control over the structure of our document, within the header and footer options, we want to enable the different odd and even pages. Here we can see that in the header. In this document, we're going to use headers as a way to show you how to insert different sections. So I'm just going to type in chapter 1 within this even page header within my chapter 1 text. You can style this as you would normal text. As we can see here in the document, it's added in that chapter 1 text to all the even pages in the document. We now want to add in different sections so that this header is only applied to our chapter 1. At the moment we have a page break. We want to get rid of this and we're going to insert a section break instead. Navigate up to your top toolbar where it says layout and then press on breaks, and here it will give us our different break options. We now want to click on next page section break. So this will insert a section break and start your page on a new page. So as we can see here, we have our chapter 2 on the next new page. Delete out any extra returns that have been added. The best way to be able to view what different sections we have is to use the headers and footers. So again, double click in the header space and we can see here that we now have a section 1 and a section 2. These are currently linked together. If we navigate to our header and footer menu, we can see the link to previous button has been enabled. If we click on that, that will unlink these two sections. This now means that we can make changes to our section 2 even page header and it won't affect that previous section 1 even page header. As we can see here, I've deleted that chapter 1 text from our chapter 2, but it has stayed in our even page header for our section 1. I can now make any changes I want to my section 2 even page header. So here I'm going to put in chapter 2. This now won't affect that previous section because we have unlinked them. As you can see here, our chapter 1 text has remained and now we have our chapter 2 text on our even page headers. I'm going to quickly create a chapter 3 so that I can show you this process again. Now I've created my chapter 3 and I want to make sure that I've inserted the cursor where I want my new section to begin. So I've pressed it there, and just to show you, at the moment we still only have 2 sections. So even though I have my chapter 3, I've only got 2 sections. So again, make sure my cursor is where I want my new section to begin. Navigate up to the top toolbar to layout and then to breaks, and then I want to press next page section break. Just making sure to keep our document tidy by removing any extra paragraph marks. Double clicking into my header, we can now see I have a section 3. So section 2 and then section 3. I now want to unlink those sections, so navigating up to where it says link to previous and pressing this. It's now no longer highlighted, so I know that that link has been broken between my section 3 and my section 2 even pages. As we can see from scrolling through the document, all the sections are how they should be. I have my chapter 2 and my even section 2, my chapter 1 on my even page section 1. An important thing to remember is that our headers, footers, odds, even pages all act independently of each other. This means that all of my footers, my odd and even pages in my footers are all still linked together, as we can see here. If I navigate to my section 3 of my footers, we can see that link to previous option is still enabled. This means that any changes that I make to that odd page footer will affect all of the sections. So here you can see I've typed in hello into my odd page section 3 footer, and it appears on my section 2 and my section 1 odd page footers. We can use the same method to unlink these sections, again placing our cursor in the section that we want to unlink and pressing that link to previous button so that it's no longer highlighted. It's important to remember that any changes that we make of the following sections will affect all the following sections. The only link that has been broken is to the previous section. It's also important to remember that any changes that I make to an odd page, they won't affect the even page. Odd and evens act independently. I would definitely recommend creating your different section breaks as you go through your document and create it. It can be really tricky to go back and try and add these in and unlink and link sections because you can inadvertently delete things that you didn't want to.